Hello and welcome to a very special edition of Bookie and The Beano, where we discuss the debits and credits of being an accountant or a bookkeeper in the digital age we operate in today. I'm Kane Munro, owner of Active Outsourcing and Accountancy Online, and joining me as always is Diane Lucas, founder, owner and superstar bookkeeper at Direct Management.
I'm Diane, hi.
Now we are at QuickBooks Connect 2019, and Di is part of our logo, so I just disrobe. There we go, kids.
Superman.
There we go. So we're at QuickBooks Connect 2019, day 2, the Advisor Day. How have you found it so far, Di?
It has been very, very interesting. We've done lots and lots of walking and turning around and looking at all the different app providers, and lots of talking with other people and intercessions and lots of learning. Lots and lots.
How are your feet? Because it's a big place.
I had to put my heels on for my presentation, but I was wearing Skechers earlier today.
Fair enough too. It's a wonderful location here in Melbourne this year. Last couple of years it's been in Sydney. Melbourne this year, who knows where it's going to be next year. What have you liked most about this particular QuickBooks Connect? Because you've been to a lot of them.
I think because it's Melbourne based, that's probably what I've liked the most.
Better coffee.
No, being close to home has been a good one, so it didn't require a big commute. But no, seriously, it's been a great event. It's been well attended by industry, bookkeepers, accountants and the small biz people yesterday. So that worked out very nicely, but I've really enjoyed, again, as I always do, all the networking and catching up with people.
Now, keynotes. You've seen a few of the keynotes yesterday. What did you take away? Who did you see?
I saw Ronnie from Oz Harvest. So she's always very inspiring. She's dedicated to what she does, and what she's actually overcome in order to do the Oz Harvest is absolutely amazing. So the inspiration behind that woman, everyone can take away some areas there.
A great story that she was telling actually about how one of the people she was helping, that a guy found $1 on the ground and could buy some bread with it, and he spent half of it to buy bread for the family. These are people who are starving. Half of the dollar to spend on bread so their family could eat, and the other half on flowers. And the wife was, why did you do that and not just buy more bread? And he goes, well, part of it is to feed us, and the other part is because life is beautiful. So
always remember that life is beautiful. So that's exactly what the story was. Yeah.
And then Todd Sampson yesterday afternoon.
He was amazing. He had to retrain your brain. So if you haven't actually seen the TV show that he did on that, I think it's on Discovery Channel on Foxtel. Now it was on the ABC a couple of years ago or whatever, but absolutely amazing. I think what I took away from there is that I totally believe we can never stop learning, but what he's saying is you can retrain your brain to do these amazing things that you would never actually have considered to do. And geez, the things he did would scare the absolute pants off me.
Yeah, again, one of the ones was about him holding his breath, the Houdini trick, and he could hold his breath for 30 seconds, and through rewiring his brain, he could then hold his breath for more than
3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is extraordinary.
And it's all about keeping calm and not, I guess, wasting energy, which is a really important takeaway for everyone out there, that decision fatigue and making sure you're making decisions which actually matter and not just flippant ones, and trying to stay calm. Staying calm uses less energy.
And what he said is everyone can do this, is to breathe, and it is...
I hope everyone out there do breathe. Just start with that.
I was going to say that sounds... But seriously, if you actually take deep breaths and center yourself and try to calm yourself, what did he say? Inhale the good and breathe out the negatives, or those sort of things. And
and that sleep's really powerful as well. You got to make sure you get enough sleep, because that helps heal
7
and feed
to
your brain.
9 hours a night. So if you're not getting 7 and 9 hours per night, then you need to actually rejig what your sleep schedule is.
Yeah, which is very difficult to get when you're on a conference, 7 to 9 hours.
No,
I'm not sure many people who were at the conference maybe got 7 or 9 hours on either night.
But I did like what he said. He said, when your team walk in the morning, is ask them how many hours sleep did you get, and if they say I only got 5 hours sleep, then you say to them, well, you're only getting half pay today.
I like that.
Because they're only going to be working at half their
capacity.
efficiency. That's it.
Now we're in the exhibit hall here, which is probably 100 metres long and 30 metres wide behind us here. Have you seen any of the exhibitors which have really tickled your fancy? Anything new that you've liked, or apps that you've seen?
Well, there's one that I saw showcased, and that's A2X, which is a middle bridging software between Amazon and Shopify and QBO. So that then takes all the clutter and the noise out of connecting up those apps into the QuickBooks program. So it brings through a consolidated sales entry, that sales entry journal, which then reconciles to the appropriate account. So I thought that was absolutely amazing. I haven't seen that one before. I've had a good look at it, and that's something that I'll be definitely talking to my Shopify clients around.
Well, they do. Shopify's got roughly 30% of the e-com market, so it's a big player. So that connection between Shopify and QuickBooks Connect to save time for the advisors out there, that's a really big deal. And
I think it's a big deal.
It's fairly new, so they're going to keep building and building on it. When we spoke to them, we did interview them for another episode of Bookie and The Beano.
Well, I think it's more, for me, it's not even so much the simplifying of the connection, but it's about getting rid of all that unnecessary noise. And if it's already, it understands, the guys there understand that reconciliation is a key process of bringing through these things, and so they've actually developed it with reconciliation in mind.
Yeah.
Hey!
Well, another one we caught up with, and we got an interview with, is Ada. And Ada is basically artificial intelligence, and it takes information from your QuickBooks file, mainly for small businesses, and you can talk to an Alexa or you can text message and get answers to questions. So you can go, how much have I invoiced for today? And it'll tell you how much, what are my expenses for today? It'll tell you. If you've got an Alexa at home, it'll actually verbally tell you. It can come up on your phone.
It sounds too good to be true, doesn't it?
It does, and it's continually learning, and there's a playlist as well. So every day at 5 o'clock, you can actually get it to talk to you and tell you what's happened in your business that day.
So not a playlist on musical, but a playlist on key attributes in your business.
Probably better than my Spotify playlist, which has the wiggles and stuff at the moment. But no, absolutely, a business playlist, which I think would be really important. If you could do that as a pro advisor, as an accountant or a bookkeeper via your QuickBooks Online company file where you're invoicing out of, if you could actually run that analytics on there and actually have at the end of each day, how did I go today, come across verbally, that's a really powerful tool.
Well, so what app was that?
Ada, A-I-D-E-R. We're going to have them on the podcast, either an episode before this or an episode after, from an interview we took with somebody who actually uses Ada. She was a rep at the stall, but she also has a restaurant as a side hustle. I go, I don't know how you have a restaurant as a side hustle. So it's also voice of customer and how it's really helped her.
Ah, okay, now excellent. I look forward to that one.
Other sessions? What other sessions outside of the keynotes have you managed to catch? Because you and I both had speaking engagements, which does take up a fair bit of bandwidth before and debriefing afterwards and just kind of getting
so it has been a hard one to actually really get into some sessions, but my team were here yesterday. They got to see a few sessions. One specifically that I caught up with them about that they were really excited about was one on time management and just basically being more efficient in your day-to-day activities. So I'm really looking forward to the debrief that I'll get in depth next week when we return back to the office.
So they're going to sleep more and be more productive. You're going to be running at 150% capacity, Di.
I know. Well, I think the first question I'm going to be asking them is, how much sleep did you get?
Yeah. And then they can bring the tools in to increase productivity as well. And you'll be running a tight ship there at Direct Management.
Yeah, it'll be absolutely wonderful.
Now, networking, you love a bit of networking. I saw you last night just boozing and smoozing and talking to all different people. Is there anyone that you're kind of talking to that really, I say tickled your fancy, but anyone that you connected with who are doing cool things?
Again, I did have a good chat with the guys from Pinch.
Oh, the lobster hats. Yeah, there's a couple of guys here, literally two guys who've started the business, doing all the coding. They won the app pitch here on the first night, got more than 50% of the vote for the app pitch, despite there being 11 candidates. They've been walking around with these lobster hats on for the last 2 days.
Yeah, and the relation of that product is their lobster hat with pinch.
Yeah.
Interesting product. It's a direct debit program for banking and credit cards that start up in Australia, and they're just hitting the mark.
And it seems a really fair pricing point as well. Like these sort of payment gateways are often a bit gougey, or a bit pinchy, but they actually seem pretty fair in the percentage or how they're actually structuring their pricing compared to a lot of the people on the market.
I can't remember exactly how they're doing it, but again, it did, as soon as they sort of said it, I went, oh, that sounds really, really interesting. So, no, absolutely. So Pinch is another one that really was interesting, and I just really enjoyed speaking to Paul, I think it was from Pinch, one of the co-founders, about his journey on creating this and how long it's taken and how much work is involved in being a startup and actually running a business alongside or maintaining a income stream in a separate business. And so startup world is hard.
Yeah, how long had it taken them?
Oh, they've been doing it for a couple of years at least.
Wow.
And which was interesting because one of the other keynotes, which was Abigail from Keep Cup and Stephen, who he's got a new app out, what is it, Me and You?
Oh, yeah.
They were talking about the the startup side of things. And Abigail was saying, it's all really exciting and I'm so enthusiastic and all this sort of stuff. And Stephen had the other side, was saying it's bloody hard. It's hard work. It's really hard work. And I think I thought they were really good messages, because they absolutely are. There's exciting moments in starting a business, and there's some really hard moments in doing a business.
That's the essence of my session yesterday, which I ran about small business finance. Just saying that nobody actually starts a small business and goes, that was much easier than I thought it would be. It's always much harder. You have days which are, you have awesome days, you have days which are bad, some days which really suck, and then days where running a small business and startups can be lonely as well, because you feel that nobody can really relate to what you're doing. And it's no different whether you're a small business, a startup, or you're starting your own accounting firm or bookkeeping firm.
Yeah.
We all go, as a small business owner, we all go through these trials and tribulations of actually starting it. So
no, absolutely.
It's good to keep that in perspective.
Yeah, and I mean, challenging stuff happens in business, and this is why it's best, if you're going to go into business, surround yourself with people that can help you. And whether that's your advisor being a bookkeeper or an accountant, or whether it's a mentor, or whether it's a family member who's been down that pathway before, you don't have to do this alone. Share the pain.
Well, you're back on stage in about half an hour, Di. What are you talking about today?
I'm doing job costing and payroll, as exciting as that sounds, but seriously, because KeyPay is the payroll provider program within QuickBooks Online, I'm talking about how to actually use that program to really capture the essence of some job costing, so that we can flow through into your profit and loss report nicely.
Very interesting stuff. I look forward to popping in, except I'm doing one at the same time, so I have to watch yours from the VCon, the virtual con, which they're running it for QuickBooks Online virtual, which will be up a few weeks after QuickBooks is wrapped up this afternoon.
Yeah, so all the sessions have been recorded, so catch the VCon in a few weeks.
That's all for this episode live from QuickBooks Connect for Bookie and The Beano. Do subscribe.
This is goodbye from Wonder Woman.
And from Superman. We'll be back soon with another episode. Until then,
bye.